Marcus Webb's survival trap was meant for small game on the colony planet Kepler, 442b. He was a biologist studying native fauna, isolated in a research outpost for 6 months. The snare he had constructed was simple, humane, designed to gently restrain creatures for study without harming them. He never expected to catch a sentient being. The creature thrashing his trap was roughly 5 feet tall, with iridescent blue skin and large, terrified eyes. She was humanoid, but distinctly alien. She had 4 arms, and her movements were those of an intelligent being in genuine fear. She was making sounds that his translation matrix struggled to process. Fear sounds, pleading sounds. "Please," she cried out, finally finding a frequency his translator could render into human speech. "Please don't eat me. I know I'm small, but I have value. I can work. I can serve. Just, please don't consume me." Marcus's heart broke at the raw terror in her voice. He immediately began carefully disarming the trap. Hey, it's okay," he said gently, keeping his movements slow and non-threatening. "I'm not going to hurt you. I'm not going to eat you. That's not what this is." The alien girl remained tense as he freed her, her 4 arms ready to flee. When she was completely loose, she backed away, watching him with the wariness of prey who has barely escaped a predator. "You're letting me go?" she whispered. "Of course I'm letting you go," Marcus said. "You're clearly sentient. You can talk. You're not food. You're a person." The girl stared at him with confusion that seemed almost painful. "But humans are apex predators. You consume all lower species. That's what the database says about your kind." Marcus realized he was speaking with someone who had learned about humanity through data transmitted across space, filtered through layers of xenological prejudice and fear. "That database is outdated and wrong," Marcus said carefully. "Yes, humans eat meat, but we don't eat intelligent beings. And we especially don't eat someone who's asking us not to." He gestured to his living quarters. "Come inside. I have food, not the kind you're afraid of." The girl, who introduced herself as Kessinia once she was certain she wasn't in immediate danger, had been a scout for her civilization. She had crash-landed her ship 2 weeks ago and had been surviving in the hostile terrain, terrified of being discovered by the apex predator species called humans. Instead, she had been caught in a trap and faced with someone who offered her tea and showed her his personal food stores. Over the following days, something unexpected developed. Marcus, who had been deeply lonely in his isolation, found companionship with Kessinia. She was brilliant, a scientist and engineer from an advanced civilization, and she was slowly beginning to understand that humans were far more complex than the data had suggested. One evening, as they sat watching the planet's 3 moons rise, Kessinia asked a question that revealed everything about her growing understanding. "Why didn't you eat me?" she asked quietly. "Because eating you would violate something fundamental to what humans are," Marcus replied. "We have predatory instincts, yes, but we have something stronger, the ability to choose compassion, to recognize another conscious being and decide that their life has value beyond utility." "The data said humans were driven by consumption and survival," Kessinia said. "The data was incomplete," Marcus responded. "Humans evolved the ability to override our base instincts. We can choose to see someone in fear and respond with kindness instead of predation." When Kessinia's rescue team arrived 3 weeks later, they found something they didn't expect: a human male and an alien female working together to repair her ship. They had become friends. More than friends, perhaps something that transcended species and biology. The Kessinian commander, upon learning the entire story, made a formal declaration. "We have been afraid of humans for generations. We believed you were monsters, creatures driven by hunger and conquest. But this human saved one of our own. He did not consume her. He fed her. He protected her. He chose her life over his survival advantage. That's just basic decency," Marcus said, slightly embarrassed. "For humans, perhaps," the commander replied. "For civilizations that operate on predator-prey hierarchies, it is revolutionary." Within months, Formal diplomatic relations were established between humanity and the Kessinian civilization. But the real bridge between their worlds wasn't forged through treaties or negotiations. It was forged in a simple outpost on Kepler 442b, where a human biologist and an alien girl had discovered that the most powerful connection between species wasn't shared biology or advanced technology. It was the willingness of one being to look at another in danger and choose mercy over appetite. The galaxy learned that day that humanity's greatest power wasn't what they could consume or conquer. It was what they could choose not to.